Where do things stand right now with the Georgia quarterback room as we are rolling right along through fall camp? We're so close to college football season starting, and Stetson Bennett no longer in Athens. His 17-year career as a Georgia Bulldog came to a close. He's now going to go just throw darts in the NFL based on what we're seeing in preseason. So what does life after Stetson Bennett look like? I think there's a couple of things that can be true here. The first is you feel pretty set at quarterback. I would be wildly surprised, as would I think most of the Georgia fan base, if it's not Carson Beck starting for you game one. The other thing that can be true here, though, the guy who starts game one may not be the same guy that starts for you at the beginning of November. Leaving injury out of this thing, you have a lot of depth in this quarterback room that you feel really good about. So yes, you're set with Carson Beck, but also you've got some guys that are pushing for this job right now during fall camp. Now, it hasn't been announced yet that Carson Beck is the starting quarterback at the time of us recording this video, but Carson Beck is the lead horse right now, but Gunnar Stockton and Brock Vandagriff, like I mentioned, they're pushing. They're pushing for that job. So really quickly, make sure you're subscribed. We talk college football here every single day. We're live Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 11 a.m. Eastern. Come lock in with us. We'll have a good time talking college football and only college football. None of that extra stuff. So we appreciate you in advance for subscribing and being a part of this operation. Back to the topic at hand. Don't misunderstand me. You're in a very good spot with Carson Beck. Like, I think Carson Beck, from a tool standpoint, has everything that you need to be successful and will give you every opportunity, in my mind, to go for a three-peat. You saw what he was in the G-Day. I mean, my man went 18 for 21, 231 yards and a touchdown. We all walked out of that G-Day performance saying, yeah, that's probably going to be your guy when you start the season. Like, that was the overarching feeling around that G-Day performance and around Carson Beck. The other thing, though, with Carson Beck is he's been under Kirby Smart now for 3 years. More or less, he's been in this system for 3 years. Now you go from Todd Monken to Mike Bobo, but you expect they'll keep the overall flavor of this offense relatively the same. Different pieces and different approaches to a degree with different OCs, but still, you feel like the machine itself will kind of operate in a similar fashion. Not the exact same, but in a similar fashion. Now, with that being said, talk to people pretty close to Georgia. Also, make sure that you get a membership at Dogs HQ because they're going to keep you in the know more than anybody else in the entire industry. So, quick note there. But I was talking to somebody close to Georgia, and the way that it was described to me, when Carson Beck goes home after fall camp practice and goes and lays his head on his pillow, he's not thinking, man, it's great to be QB1 at Georgia, isn't it? I'm the guy. We're locked and loaded. Like, let's roll, baby. The thought process that he would be having is, man, I got to bring it tomorrow. I got to bring it tomorrow because Gunnar Stockton and Brock Vandagriff during this fall camp have reminded everybody around Athens and everybody within that building, hey, they're really freaking good. Hey, they were a 5-star and a 4-star respectively out of high school for a reason, Brock Vandagriff being the 5-star in that group. Like, those dudes can sling the pill now. And so when you look at what it's going to be going forward, I'm not saying that either one of them is going to come out of fall camp and win the job. Like, that would surprise me. I think it would surprise a lot of the good people in Athens, Georgia. But even so, what this does with how they've performed this fall camp, and like I said, how they've been pushing, and Brock Vandagriff making a really strong push right now during fall camp, it provides more confidence that you got some options in this quarterback room. You already knew they were talented, but this fall camp performance, if you're Kirby Smart, from these two guys makes you feel like, okay, we think we have our guy in Carson Beck, is how I would imagine he's thinking about it. But at the exact same time, seeing these dudes spin it during fall camp and seeing them do good things, I rest a little bit easier knowing that, okay, if for whatever reason, whether Carson Beck struggles or whether we have an injury situation, which you would hate, but if that happens, I don't have too much of a problem saying, let's go to one of these two guys. So the most likely situation in my mind, Carson Beck starts the year for you, goes wire to wire, does great things, keeps the Georgia train rolling. That's the most likely situation in my mind. Now, if you've watched this show, if you watched the live show, you saw me pick Georgia to win a national title this coming season. Been very open about that. I think they're going to roll right along. The other thing that needs to be said, though, for the fan base, the house does not need to be on fire for you to go with another quarterback within that quarterback room. And what I'm saying is Georgia could be undefeated heading into November, and they could be rolling right along. But if you feel like maybe in that last game or the last couple of games you felt like Carson Beck isn't totally getting the job done, you can feel okay giving the keys to a Brock Vandagriff or to a Gunnar Stockton should that situation arise, because Mike Bobo is very familiar with Gunnar Stockton. All right. So what I'm trying to say is you have a lot of depth, you have a lot of options, and you feel really good about where you stand in this quarterback room if you're within this Georgia fan base. And for these guys in this quarterback room, Gunnar Stockton, Brock Vandagriff, Carson Beck, all three of those cats, this is why you came to Georgia. You came to Georgia not to have anything handed to you, not because you knew you were going to play right away. Carson Beck's been waiting his turn for 3 years. You came to Georgia because you knew the competition in that room was going to make you a better football player and give you the best chance to become your best and give you a chance to go and play in the NFL and accomplish all of your goals. That's why you came to Georgia, because of the system and the process that's in place to maximize all of your abilities. And a part of maximizing it is the competition. It is the pressure that comes with that G on your helmet, baby. And that's what you sign up for. So for all these individuals, you would imagine that going forward with Dylan Raiola and Ryan Puglisi coming to Athens next season, it would be a little bit difficult from a mathematics standpoint to see every single one of these guys in that quarterback room this time next season. I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm just saying we know that all these dudes are super talented. I was told that they feel like all three of these cats could start at the majority of SEC schools. I'm not saying they're going to the SEC or other schools. I'm just saying you have enormously talented guys that could probably start a lot of other places in the country. So what I'm trying to say is you feel good about the quarterback room. Keep an eye on how this thing shakes out as we get further and further into the season and when Dylan Raiola and Ryan Puglisi get here. A lot of talent in that room. I think you have everything you need to three-peat. I'm excited to watch it play out. Again, make sure you're subscribed. One more time, we are live Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 11 a.m. Eastern, right here on the On3 YouTube channel. Come back and join us. We'll have a real good time. Also on podcast, if you want to listen to the full hour episode, I'll link that below here in the comment section. But we love y'all. We appreciate y'all. We're going to keep this party rolling. We will see y'all next time. Hey, y'all. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also, be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.